The Secret to Raising Honest Kids. A must-know guide for parents when children cheat at school. Hello everyone. Today I want to share with you a story that's very real. Very relatable. One that any parent might face. What do we do when we find out our child has cheated at school? Just thinking about it makes my heart skip a beat. Doesn't it? No one wants their child to be a cheater. But the truth is, it happens. So, what should we do? I'm going to walk you through the insights of a leading parenting expert. Shared in the voice of a mom or dad talking to you with all the sincerity and understanding I can muster. First, let's touch on the key points that I believe will resonate with you. When your child cheats, don't rush to anger. Stay calm and dig into the reasons behind it to respond in the right way. We need to understand why they did it. That's how we can offer timely support. And most importantly, I'll share some simple yet effective strategies to help your child steer clear of cheating in the future. Are you ready? Let's dive in together. Understanding the whole story. Friends, imagine this. One day, you get a call from the teacher saying your child cheated. What's your first reaction? Is it that urge to defend them? To shield them from any accusation? I get it. It's a parent's instinct. But today, I invite you to pause. Take a deep breath. And listen. Don't jump to your child's side to argue against the teacher or their classmates. Why? Because the solution isn't in denial. It's in understanding. Did you know that over 50% of kids cheat at some point? Back in our day, cheating might have been sneaking a peek at a friend's paper. But today's kids have trickier methods, from math-solving apps to smartwatches that feed them answers. I once read a survey that floored me. 64% of high school students admitted to cheating on a test. 58% confessed to plagiarism. And 95% said they'd cheated in some way or another. This comes from a study by Professor Donald McCabe at Rutgers University, and it's a wake-up call that this isn't rare. So, instead of insisting, "My child would never do that," sit down and hear the teacher out. Then gently ask your child for their side. I know it's not easy, but staying calm helps us find the right path. And here's the thing. Your child needs to learn that you won't always rescue them from consequences. That's the first lesson in responsibility we can teach them, don't you agree? Digging into the reasons. Now, let's go a bit deeper. Why did they cheat? Do you remember playing games with your little ones? Did they ever tweak the rules to make sure they'd win? I've seen my daughter do that in preschool. And experts say it's normal at that age. But as they grow, if cheating sticks around and spills beyond family game nights, we need to figure out why. Confusion about academic honesty. Here's something fascinating I want to share. Even older kids might not fully grasp what's okay and what's not in school. A fourth grader might innocently copy straight from a textbook, thinking it's fine. A sixth grader might assume copying a friend's homework isn't wrong. Getting mad at them isn't the best move here. Instead, I sit down with my child and explain the difference between teamwork, paraphrasing, and cheating. Technology blurs the lines too. Can they use an app to translate French homework? Can they Google answers instead of flipping through a textbook? These fuzzy boundaries are where we step in with patience and love to guide them. Academic pressure. Friends, have you ever seen your child juggling homework, sports, music lessons, and friends, all at once? I've watched my son lose sleep over the fear of a bad grade. Researchers like Isakov and Tripathi point out that when kids are overwhelmed, they might cheat as a shortcut. Especially those anxious about perfect grades to get into a good college. They're more likely to copy homework or even pay someone to do it, thinking it's their ticket to a secure future. That's when I realized I need to show them why cheating's wrong, what the consequences are, and, crucially, make sure I'm not piling on too much pressure myself. Lack of motivation. Here's another thing that keeps me up at night. If kids aren't motivated to learn, they'll take the easy way out, cheating. Instead of doing homework, they cut corners. I tried a little trick. If my child sits down to work while I watch, they earn extra screen time. Or if they study hard for a test, they get some gaming time after dinner. These small rewards don't just motivate them, they bring us closer. 2. Peer pressure. And don't overlook peer pressure. Maybe your child isn't the one copying, they're the one letting others copy. But that's still wrong. I once asked my son, "What do you say if a friend asks to copy your work?" He hesitated, and I saw he needed help saying no. We can practice simple lines together. Like, "I want to do it myself to understand it." Or, "You should try it too." Teaching them to be a good friend while staying honest. That's something I find so meaningful. Preventing cheating. Dear friends, now let's talk about how to keep this from happening again. I've got some simple strategies that really work. And I hope they'll help you too. First, just tell your child, "Mom and Dad expect you to be honest on every test." Sounds basic, right? But a study in the Journal of Economic Psychology found kids are more likely to stay honest when asked not to cheat. One clear sentence can make a big difference. Next, check the values you're teaching. I chat with my kids about how honesty matters more than grades. If we only hype up high scores without mentioning integrity, they might think cheating's okay. Be a role model. 2. I once fibbed about my child's age to save a few bucks at a buffet, thinking it was no big deal. Then I realized, what am I teaching them? Now, I'm committed to living honestly so they can follow my lead. Sometimes, a little white lie spares someone's feelings. When that happens, I explain. I said that so they wouldn't feel bad. But honesty is still the best way. Kids need to see the difference between kindness and deceit. On discipline, I learned harsh punishment can turn kids into better liars. According to the journal Child Development, instead of yelling, I talk and guide them. Lastly, praise effort, not just results. Rather than, "Great job on that high score," I say, "I'm proud you worked so hard for this test." It shows them value lies in trying, not just succeeding. Friends, parenting is never easy, especially when our kids stumble into things like cheating. But I believe with calmness, understanding, and these simple steps, we can raise them to be honest and confident. What do you think? Let's keep trying together. Our kids deserve it. And so do we.